Okay, guys, welcome to the Legend Podcast. This is episode number 1, featuring Shaun Smith here. Bringing him on now. Welcome
What's
in,
up?
Shaun. But wanted to talk with you about the VLR Fall Frenzy here. I know that you entered in that. I don't know how long ago did you enter in that. Actually, wasn't too long ago.
Uh, no, actually, Ryan Hodge talked me into it. Yeah, he's the main reason I done it. Him and Dylan, they were trying to get me to do it, so I done it. Same with Matthew. A lot of people was trying to get me to do it, so I done it.
Oh, it's understandable. I mean, those are you know them guys, so they're like, well, I'm gonna be into this crap. They're gonna do it too. God dang it. Can't be sitting here doing it
Yeah.
alone, but I don't know. What's your or how nervous are you? You know, what thinking of when you're going to be racing this event? How nervous do you think you'll be?
I mean, it just depends. I'll probably who's in my race. So, I have Blake, Evan, Dylan, all them in my race. I'll probably be a little more nervous than I would with like Ryan, Hayden, uh, just drivers around their skill level. I feel like I'm just right behind them. So I feel like if I get paired with them, I'll probably not be nervous at all. But with the bunch of the pros and bigger drivers, that'll probably get me pretty worked up. Just I guess we got to see how it goes.
It's all you can do, man. But I did definitely want to bring you on the podcast, and I know that you wanted to be on here for the first episode,
Yeah.
so reached out to you during the races tonight about it. But I don't know. Do you think that you'll make it into the feature from the qualifying nights?
Uh, I mean, I think what I heard is it's like 12 people from each thing make it. So, pretty tough because there's more than likely, I haven't looked at all the entries, but more than likely there's a lot of probably mostly pro drivers are going to fill in those spots. So, and then the last chance, I think, is one person just makes through. I don't know exactly, but that's what I've been told. And so, I don't know. I mean, I guess it all depends on how we qual finish our heats and if we even make the feature for the qual night.
I don't know, man. Personally, I think you have a halfway decent shot at it, but like you said, you got like Majulis, Dylan House, or Evan C. A bunch of others, Hayden Tolson. Trying to think here, there's so many guys that have entered into it, over 100+ entries, as they had said there at one point. I know that they mentioned, but you know, how do you think the track's gonna hold up throughout? I don't even know how many laps it's gonna be. It could either be 30, 40, 50, 75, 100. So, what do you think the track's gonna do?
Yeah. I feel like obviously, like most tracks, it goes from the bottom to the top. I feel like that's how Charlotte's going to be. Charlotte's it's usually a pretty racy track once it slicks down, but I'm hoping it's a long race because that's how Matthew usually builds the setups for the long run. So uh, as long as he has them how they're supposed to be set, and he knows what he's doing, so I have my trust in him, and you know, just coming up on something like that is pretty huge. Even though I was the kind of person who actually entered myself in it, so guess if I mess up, it's on me. Uh, but yeah, it's just the track's more than likely going to be basically 100% slick the whole race. I'm hoping it is, just because I hope I could get out front and just just keep that line and block. Because I don't know if I'll be able to actually hold up with them, but I think if I could just keep my car in front of them, I'll be okay.
It'd be nice, man. I don't know. I think you've got a chance at least finishing in the top five, along with, of course, we all know that either Dylan House or Blake Majulius and um Evan C or and Tolson, probably one of those guys will be one to win the 4K, as long
Yeah,
as they're able to stay clean and green and get out front early on in the feature. But I don't know. I feel like they're gonna set the track up so maybe it lasts a little bit longer. It doesn't take quite as long to, or it takes a little bit longer to slicken off, and but it all depends on whether they're gonna reset the track state too in the heat races and everything. But or after the heat races, we'll have to I guess just watch and see. I know that race is gonna be today at 7 p.m. EST. Well, not the race, but the qualifiers are today for
yeah,
7 p.m. for Group One. Then Group Two will be 8:45 p.m. EST.
yeah,
And like you said, you don't even know you don't even know what group you're in when we talked a little bit before starting up the video here. But I don't know. I think overall you've got a good shot at it. Uh, I don't know. Are you worried about catching the wall or anything like that during the race or and qualifiers?
yeah. That did cross my mind, but I've been testing a good bit with Matthew. We put probably 4 or 5 hours, and that's just with each other, uh, in on the sets and just driving. Uh, so I think the sets will hold up pretty good, and then I think with how he has them set up, they're pretty, you know, they're pretty easy to drive around the track, and you can basically put them anywheres. So as long as I can, keep it from getting loose on me out of the corner, I think I'll have a pretty good shot at keeping it out of the wall.
Oh, I'm sure, man. I think you'll do fine with it, but I don't know. I just Charlotte's a weird track when it comes to track states, and the wall in the backstretch, man, that thing comes out of nowhere. Especially entering in 3 and 4, we both know that. It
Hey,
looks like it's over, but well, actually,
you
I
could
don't
say
know.
it's the wall in the back stretch. I think it's the one in the front stretch.
Okay, well,
I'll
maybe we
think
got
I've
opposite
cleared
then.
it. Yeah, I'll think I've cleared it, and then as soon as uh we hit the line, my rear end's hitting the wall.
See, it's the opposite thing for me on the backstretch, entering in 3 and 4. That oh, well, I feel like it just comes out onto the racetrack more than what it actually was before. I swear, them concrete walls. People say that they don't move when you hit them, but I swear they move before. I don't know. I think a lot of people assume that too. I don't know. There's something up with that, but I don't know. I mean, tonight you went three in a row in Legend Racing, and well, kind of last night with what time it was or time it is now, being that we're both up, and guess we'll just say that we had a few missed trials. We're not gonna get into that, but before this, that made us
We had
a
some
little bit
technical
annoyed.
difficulties.
Yeah, say the least. It was actually more or less involving with like your part of, and not like on your end, but like it was on my end, but it was with your part. You could understand everything with me, just not with you. It was so weird, and there's just one setting I had to change and fix it all, but that was 40 minutes wasted. So now we're here. We are an extra hour later, and um, but
Yeah.
things like that happen. I guess we both know that.
Yeah, good job,
Just
Mark.
oh, be quiet, Sean. You know you don't mean it. It's all your
I
fault. No,
do.
I'm just kidding. I know. But it's up. We're both up late and trying to put out content for you guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this first podcast, first episode, first season of everything. Never tried it. We normally just post racing videos on YouTube. Would like to get shorts going, and hopefully, this podcast can continue on here. But I don't know. You think that winning in Legend Racing makes you feel more confident with going into this?
Yeah, it's even though it wasn't the supers, it definitely gives me more of a feel of the car. Uh, and obviously, I mean, you can drive the super lights like a pro late model if you just don't drive the or don't press the throttle as hard. You keep it running like a pro late. So, I mean, overall, the just actual being in the actual car is more than likely going to help me, even in the supers, just because the feeling of it is, a big difference from modifieds.
Oh, I can 100% agree with that. I think we both, you know, understood that when we both ran for pro qualifiers. We
Yeah, you didn't do as good as me.
no, you did 10 times better. I'll fully admit
Yeah,
to that. But then again, um, you did run late models, probably at least once a week at that time, and I didn't. I was lucky to run them once every other month or once a month, and I was like, oh, we both talked at the time. We were like, oh, well, actually, you think it was Cody Buck? Like, oh, or wait, no, it was Corey Anderson.
yeah,
That was like, oh, pro qualifiers are tonight. Didn't realize that first race, and I was like, oh, because I initially kind of talked with you about running for that. We both thought about it, and then I didn't even realize that it was coming up, and then that day he said something about it. I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that it was tonight. I guess I better get some setup spotter made or something here. Had no
yeah,
preparation or had no clue what the tracks were, so had to quickly go in, try to test drive, see if I was actually able to keep the car straight, which luckily I was, but let me tell you, man, that first race at Lincoln, that track is, I don't know, in late models at least, man, that track going
bro.
down straightaway with the ruts and
Yeah,
everything, it was horrible. Dusty, like no tomorrow, could barely see the car in front of you.
right. Like I
It
remember
was,
going into it. Uh, I had uh a setup that I had made for it, and I thought I was gonna do good. I didn't have any setups bought. I was gonna go get some from I think at the time I think I was uh gonna get them from House of Speed, and I called my mom up and was like, she was like, "No, you're not getting no setups for no dumb race," and I was like, "Dang it!" So I just stuck with that setup, and then uh we ended up getting like 15th. Actually, I was setting like 8th or ninth, and then got wrecked and put to the back, and then ended up getting like 15th or something like that.
eh.
So go ahead.
Time that perfectly. I think actually similar things happened between us. I started a little bit further back, made my way up into sixth, then got involved in some stuff, went to the rear, towards the rear. I think I ended up finishing like 12th or 11th. I know, like the last 3 laps, man, it was up on the wall. We were all racing. I mean, it was up on the wall for like the last 15 laps or 20 laps of the race, but it was up on that wall. And I was riding up there, and somebody just, I don't know, they chucked her in there, threw a slide job on me, and I crossed them over, and it was just literally a drag race to the checkers from those last like 3 laps. And the one person got me at the line, which unfortunately kind of sucked a little bit considering the fact that it would have put me up in another position. I think I would have finished like 10th or something like that. But stuff like that happens. It's unfortunate. You go on to the next one, try again. You know that from running my shows. It's just that's part of racing. One night it can be good, the next night you can total the car, so to speak.
Yeah.
Going from real life racing there, but
Yeah, even in your shows, I remember one night I went 4 in a row, I think, right? Next night, I don't even think I won a race. I think
yeah,
I either wrecked myself or got wrecked.
yeah, you're probably at Charlotte that wall. Came out, give
No,
you a big
I
old
was
hug as
actually at
Tyler would
Lernerville. I
say.
slid off the track.
Okay, well then, sorry. The walls pulled you off of the track and gave you a big old hug. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I
We'll
went
say that
flying
at
up into
least.
the trailers.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. It was. I mean, going back to even your first one, which was that weed sport, you tubbed the crap out of me coming to the
Yeah, on a
checkered.
controller.
Yeah, on controller. You were. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know
I
how
think
proud of that moment I am.
personally,
No,
personally, I think I was one of the better controller players.
other than Tyler Johnson, I think Tyler had you beat on that
Tyler was on a controller.
one. For a long time he was.
I
Like,
didn't know that.
yeah, back then for like first like 2 months that he was running with me, he was on controller.
Oh,
You would never have known it though. He was really good on controller. I
he
mean,
must have played like the Tony Stewart games and stuff,
I don't know. I don't know what he played, but he was definitely really good
or
on controller.
or he had that sensitivity turned down real low. So it was like,
Yeah,
ooh, it just
exactly. Yeah, that
because
was
I
so
I was
weird.
sitting over there like voom, 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 the whole race.
Yeah, I know that is definitely one of the funny things with controller. It's like so different compared to when you get a wheel. It's like
It's
something that
like
you don't
playing on a
really expect.
keyboard.
Yeah, I know. Actually, that was something that I almost always wanted to try on iRacing because I was always
Oh
really big on
no,
video games with keyboards. But I was like, I'm not gonna bind all of it just to unbind it to rebind my whole wheel.
yeah.
Like,
I
yeah,
feel
just
like rebinding the wheel is like the most frustrating thing because you got to get it at, like that
100%,
perfect
dude.
thing, and it's
We
like
all know that.
what?
Yeah, we all know that little annoying piece where it's even just like one smidge off, and it's like, okay, rotate your wheel to the middle, even if it doesn't have to be. It's like, okay, no, it's gonna be perfectly centered. Needs to get done 50.
Yeah,
Even if I have to like
actually,
flick mine, I get it there.
yeah. Actually, during Volusia Pro Qual, I think I actually had a watch party for that race too. So
Mm.
that was already scary on top of that. But
Wow.
at that point, I think I went and bought Premiere. I
Hmm.
got some setups from Premiere, and well, they were fast. But one thing I didn't get with it was I didn't get a slick setup. So when I went into it, it was called, I think, R40 or something, and I was like, "Oh, that's the race setup." I was like, "Okay, that's just a, overall feature setup." So I was like, "Okay, we're just gonna slap it on," and we killed them in the qual, the heat, and everything. We like just skull dragged them the whole race, and then we go into the feature. Well, we're doing it to them like we did in the heat. We just completely left the field. I think we had like 2 seconds on them, and I was like, "Geez, did not expect that." Uh, then the bottom started going away, and I was like, "Well, crap, setup's starting to get loose." And I had the wheel about like this, basically completely upside down. And I look in my mirror, and I just see him slowly catching up to me, and I was like, "Oh no." 20 to go too. And I
Yeah,
could see him catching me like 2 tenths every lap, and I was like, "No, I ain't letting these kids beat me."
it's
I
just, go ahead.
uh, I was like, all I needed to do was change some stagger and some wheel spacing, and that was it.
I know it's hard to believe though. Just even getting slightest bit looser throughout the race,
Slows you down.
it can screw you. And actually, for that race, I bought Premiere like a couple days or like the week before that for Volusia, like all the setups I'd bought, and then I was like, you know what? Everybody talks up Pass Speed. Give them a shot. I'll spend the $18 on setup. I think I had gotten a little bit of a discount. I couldn't remember. I think I knew some type of code that I could put in, but got that. Didn't do bad. Did good in the heat race. Did meh in qualifying, but qualifying. But mind you, I don't even know if I'd ever ran pro late models at or sorry, supers or was it pros? I can't
Yeah,
even
supers.
supers. That's what I thought.
Ain't
I
running
don't
no
even.
pros in the pro qual.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, good
Both got
point.
pro names. I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, I don't think I'd ever ran the track and.
Oh, camera fell over.
Bona had a little
That's going in the clips.
Yep, that no, that's going in the whole podcast. I ain't editing that one out. But we won't
Oh,
talk
we
about
gotta
that.
fix the camera.
Yeah,
There we go.
okay. But anyways, I don't think I'd really ever turned a lap there in or super late models before at Volusia. So qualifying didn't, the inexperience kind of bit me in the butt on that one. But then uh for the race, I started out good, and nothing against this person, but they didn't have the best internet or something like that, or set up for like gaming computer or something like that. But they were blinking in and out throughout the feature. I passed them, and then they got near me again, and it netcoded me around. And when I spun around on the front stretch coming off of four,
You
I
got
rolled back
killed.
up, and I got up on the wall, and I that ended my night pretty much there. because it put me up onto
Yeah.
the wall, and my tires were just kind of spinning, and Chip was being hit and everything, so I couldn't get off from the wall. And actually, credit to one person. I believe one person tried to actually hit me off from the wall. So I give them a lot of credit for doing that, especially in pro qualifying, and jeopardizing their car damage. I don't know if it was somebody that was watching my stream, or just somebody that was actually genuinely really nice and stuff. But I did get back out
Yeah.
on the track, but I think I was a lap down, so that was, tough break
Yeah.
for Volusia at the time. Which back then I really liked Volusia, but that
Yeah.
happens, and that's part of it.
I'm actually pretty salty though that I didn't get to. I didn't when I just went full on Premiere. I just didn't care. Just went full on Premiere. I didn't get one for Lucas either. Uh, but I talked to one of my buddies that actually knew how to. Well, at this point, I didn't know how to do that stuff. I didn't know what anything done in the car. I didn't even know what stagger done to the car. Uh, so I was just, asking for help. Asked one of my buddies, and he helped me a little bit. So I made like a tighter setup, basically off the tacky one. And well, we went out. Uh, well, let's just go back to Volusia real quick. So I got to about lap 35, and then they were right on my bumper, and I think the dude behind me got a little impatient, so he tried chunking a slider on me, and his right rear clipped my left front, and you kind of guess what happened. We both spun around. Somehow, I did not go to the back though. I actually just went back to fifth, and that's where I finished. I believe fifth or sixth. I think I got passed, or I might have passed on and then got passed again. Uh, and then crap, what was it? Lucas. I was racing Jaden Sheehan or Shay. I don't know how to
I
say his name.
think it's Sheehan.
Uh, yeah, Sheehan. Uh, really cool dude, by the way. Uh, like I like that dude. I think he was running house setups at that point. I don't know what he. Yeah, I don't even know if he plays the game anymore. I haven't seen him in a while. But he showed up at Lucas Oil. I believe you were in my split that race too.
Yeah, it was.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, and when we went to go race again, I had a perfect night. I went P1 in qual, finished P1 in heat, and then we go to the race. Got by the way, this track I got the help with the setup. Led for about 30 laps, and then the same thing happened to me. Jaden Sheehan literally tubbed me. I got tubbed in a pro qual race.
That's
I
tough to be.
was I was pissed.
Oh, you can't blame yourself for that one, man. I started out good too in my heat race. I started like second, but I don't know. I just we we ain't gonna get into the consi. Yeah, we'll go to that in a second. But heat race, I started out good and somewhat got pushed up into the wall. Somebody ruffled feathers with me, like roughed me up a little bit. We'll say that at least as Mr. Smooth Patrick Erickson's wording there. Gotta rough him up a little bit. Uh,
uh,
but
yeah,
pushed me up towards the wall, and I don't think he was meaning to do it by any means. But I was in second then, and then after that, car got probably had damage on my right front would be my best guess, or somewhere's on those screwed up with my aerodynamics there. But then after that, I kind of just went backwards, backwards, backwards. Well, then I didn't transfer out of the heat race, to say the least. So
yeah,
then we go into the consi. This is fully my doing. We ran it towards the end, and I was doing good too. I wasn't bad. I was in a transfer spot, and then I think I fell back one position. I was like, okay, we're gonna drive it in deep this next corner. We're gonna let it drift up to the top of the racetrack, grab the cushion, get a good run on this guy or something. Because that line, kind of worked at Lucas.
yeah. It was like a
Well,
slider line.
we drove it in deep. We took her a little bit too deep, and we nailed the infield track tire, and
Then
I
you,
don't
I
even
think
know
you
if we
doored the
full.
dude.
Then the guy, I don't know if he clipped me or not. I don't even know if it spun me around then. I think it just pushed me up like somewhat onto two wheels, and I saved it, came back down. Then because of my car having damage, my car kept pushing off from the bottom, and then kind of grabbed this
You
other
got
dude, which I feel
passed
really
and
bad
got
about.
lapped in the consi.
Yeah, I almost did get lapped in the consi, but that
He was on your
definitely
tail.
it was a frustrating, experience at Lucas Oil. But that's stuff like that teaches you, going to the next one, just try harder. Then I guess and I feel like
Yeah.
that's all that you can do when it comes to things like that. I am sure that you think probably same thing when it comes
Oh
to
yeah.
racing and that. I mean, you used to run flat carts in real life, and you know that
Oh yeah. I've
plays a
gotten
factor.
spun
But
plenty of times
that definitely happens in real life.
a-
But it's
and
so
hit
easy
some
to do.
tires.
Oh yeah, that's another easy thing to do. I've seen so many people where at tracks near me where they were about to get their first ever win at that track, and then
They'll hit
either
the
white
tire.
flag or like 5 laps left to go. They're way out front. They're gone. They're straight away ahead, and then they just eat the tractor tire, and it totals the entire left side of their car.
Yeah. Actually, my I hit the I used to I would rub the tires all the way around, and it was kind of like I guess you could say I was like riding like how we used to ride the wall
Hmm.
on all the tracks.
Yeah.
I would ride the tires, so it was like the tires would pull me around because they were so perfectly lined up at this track that I went to. So I'd go in, hit that first tire, and it was like it just pulled my tire just enough to where I was like just like that.
Yeah, it's
And
weird how that stuff
yeah,
works.
like my whole cart was orange, and then on the left side it was just black.
That would kind of make sense then.
Yeah, well,
Allow
I
that
mean, it
happening.
wasn't really black, but you know what I'm saying. It had its marks on
Oh
it and
yeah,
stuff.
just a little bent. You
Yeah,
center and you
she was a
venter,
little bit.
but all that's part of it. You gotta take the risks sometimes, and times they work, and I guess that time it didn't for you, say the least. But
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I gotta ask you, what's your biggest concern heading into this Fall Frenzy race? Like, do you got any huge
I'm getting
concern
junked. I'm
getting
getting
junked?
junked 100%.
I understand that, man. That's easily understandable because it does happen. It's not that drivers mean it. It's just it happens, and
Yeah,
I feel like I feel like that happens a lot, especially when you get really good drivers with each other and in multiple setup shops, like 5 setup shops all going at it together. They get really racing hard because they want that position. When there's 4K on the line, $10,000 purse altogether that they're paying out. Need a little bit more uh, harder racing
oomph.
even then on top of the 5 setup shops all going at it. And then start
Yeah,
rubbing doors and paint schemes start trading and walls start to get hit and tractor tires start to get hit and people go upside
straight
down
lines
and
given.
yeah.
Been
But
there, done that.
yeah, exactly. But
We've all been there and done that.
actually, you know what? Surprisingly, I don't think I've ever straight lined anybody.
Oh, I've straight lined somebody. It wasn't a hosted race, but it was actually in your race, I think.
Yeah, actually, I think I remember that because I'm pretty certain I blocked. Or
Well,
actually, that might have been your. Did they straight
they
line you
straight
first?
lined
I think
me, and then
yeah. So
I
you
straight
kind of
lined
had
them.
somewhat of a right away do. Not saying that it makes it right, but
Yeah,
had a little bit more of a reasoning too at the time. But what you've learned since then, let's not do that. Just let me take care of it because actually, yeah, that usually works out 10 times better. But you
yeah,
know, um, that's one of those situations like the Danny Johnson and Matt Williamson situation. Grab the popcorn box, which you probably don't know about, Sean. But
no.
yeah, I'll have to try to find that post again and send that to you. Something similar happened between Tyler and Seth Seta that night and
Uh,
last a couple nights
oh,
ago, and they had together.
was it the one where Tyler was on the outside and Seth started real late?
Well, they kind of like Tyler was in the lead. He chose the outside to restart off,
Oh,
and
I
Seth
didn't know
like
that.
and him were like really close together. So when Tyler fired off and turned down a little bit, he came
It
over
hooked.
Seth's left or right front, and it just spun him around, and then his rear end went out because of it. And
Oh, I remember that because
yeah,
when the whole field went to the bottom
hmm
when that happened. So when I think I had Trey in front of me. Yeah, it was Trey. He was sitting right in front of me, and he was like, "Check up, check up, check up." So I slammed on the brakes, and the car behind me never let off, and I went flying. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god!"
Actually, that was a similar ordeal with what happened at Eldora too. Like, with them, everybody kind of checked up, and at the time, I don't think he could fully tell. Afterwards, he probably should have let off, but stuff like that happens. And
Yeah,
I guess that's what
actually,
makes racing racing.
yeah. Uh, Dang it, I forgot. It wasn't last night. Oh, it was 3 nights ago. I sat there and was just messing with setups, and I figured out a baseline. Nobody's figuring this out, by the way. Y'all probably already have, but I'm not telling anybody in case. Uh, so I found like a baseline that is with the wheel spacing, spring rate, and the tire pressures that have worked every single time, except for Lima Land. Lima Land is trash. They need to fix that track. Uh, I miss the old Lima Land. That was my favorite track. Uh,
Okay. Now, speaking of Limeland, I just gotta sneak this in here because everybody that I've talked to from when they first started iRacing, does it not look like Limeland changed in looks? Like, it doesn't even look
oh
like the same track?
yeah,
What is it with that? Every person I've
the
talked to from when they first got iRacing, his first track they ran Street Stocks or UMPs or
the
Legends,
I
the track
think
looks like
that
it
they
wasn't even the
changed.
same.
I think they changed the texture of the dirt.
That, and I'm wondering if that track has changed with, like, light posts in the center of the track, if maybe it didn't have that before. They might
I
have
have no clue.
that track might have paid iRacing to come out and rescan is what I'm only thing that I could think of.
Maybe I don't know.
That's like the only thing that I could think of really, but everybody I've talked to says the same thing. I swear it's like a weird like this is something about Limeland, and I swear everybody that gets iRacing 5 months later, you ask them that exact same question. Hey, did Limeland look different? Back when he first started, and they're gonna say, "Oh,
Well,
actually, now that I think of it, yeah, it did."
and the thing is, I feel like Lima Land gets slick so weird.
It does. I'll agree with that. Like sometimes it gets slick around the bottom, and then others it's like
Well,
slickening off around the high side when it should be the bottom.
well, I was in one of your races,
Hmm.
and this no longer than a month ago. Uh, the middle got slick when everyone was running the bottom. Like I'm talking about, everyone
Yeah.
was running the bottom, but the slick got middle, and I was like, I don't think that's supposed to do that. I don't know if it was a glitch or something, or like a bug. But then everyone went to the middle where the slick was, and it was fast, and then the bottom was gone, and I was like, huh?
Yeah. You know what my best guess is? Is there something screwed up on that track with the dirt script or the and I'm trying to think of it. If I could think of it, I can't even think of it now. It's dirt. Yeah, dirt script basically isn't lining up with actually where it's being ran in. I'm wondering if they got a something fixed on that where it's like in a line somehow. I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
I ain't no professional like iRacing. They're the one that handles all their scripting, not me. That's one thing I'm not good with is scripting and coding. One thing I'm not, which
yeah.
not an easy thing, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like when timing boards screw up on iRacing, like in the results area, nothing that the host can do about that. It's just iRacing where bugs in and out here and there because of the scripting. And usually with scripting like that, you can't really fix certain bugs like that. Um, Same as
I mean, it's iRacing. They're rich. They can do something about it.
maybe. No, I know you're
Oh my!
right.
They how long have they been doing the whole iRacing thing? Like 20 years almost.
uh,
I think it's like 20 years. I think they started in 2006.
15. That wouldn't be 20 years.
Well, as I said, it's around 20
Oh, okay,
years.
I was gonna say math is
I'm
never
not
up
that
there.
stupid.
I was gonna say, never said that you were. No, I think it was
Okay.
15 years actually. I think it came out in 2007 or 2008. Let's see. When did iRacing let's see. iRacing come out? It came out on August
Okay, so
26,
try for me.
2008. So it has been around for
Uh,
14 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I was wrong.
still been around for a long time though. Either way, that's quite a while. But
Yeah.
I think out of every simulation or video game that's involved racing, they've came the furthest out of all of them and actually put the time and effort in the most out of all of them. And
Yeah.
it's definitely for sure that they know something that obviously no other game creators know when it comes to that type of stuff. Because I mean, look at like Tony Stewart's All American Racing or Tony Stewart's All American Sprint Car Racing or whatever it's called there.
Oh yeah, that one was trash.
I mean, it
That was
wasn't.
the
It's good for
no,
people
Mark.
that no, hang on, listen. Like, let me finish.
World of Outlaws game is so much better.
I haven't played that actually. I never bought it, but
Well, I don't know if it was just me, but the controls on it were so trash. Like when I would go to turn, it would take the whole straightaway for it to turn. With
that
the
was
World of
something on your
Outlaws
end
game,
because on mine I was fine.
well, for me it was awful, and it always felt like the track was just sliding from under me. With the World of Outlaws game, that car is planted. Like when I'm telling you, it is planted, and when I would flick that stick, it would go,
The only thing
and I'd
that
be like,
kind
"Whoa!"
of deterred me from the World of Outlaws game is I feel like it's fast paced. Like the cars are going way faster than they should be around the track, and I feel
Oh
like the tracks
yeah,
ain't quite big enough.
100%.
Now, Tony Stewart's All American Racing and stuff, their game, don't get me wrong, it's really good. But like you said, the track kind of slides out from under you in a way,
Mhm.
and you can tell where I don't know, just like when it comes to like simulation stuff, it's a good game for like
Realism.
fun. You know, it's a good game if you're not like trying to have a game for like overly realistic. If you're trying to have a game
Yeah.
to screw around with buddies or friends, that's a cheap
Well,
game.
if
Then go
if
with
me and
that.
my uncle are just trying to straight line each other, we go on that one. But if we're trying to have some competition, we go on the World of Outlaws game
Yeah.
because there's wheel hopping.
Oh, is there? I never knew that.
Yeah,
That's kind of
it's there's
interesting.
wheel hopping. You can even wheel hop in the late models. It's
Oh,
scary.
hmm. I
You'll
don't
be
know.
sitting there side by side and just it'll be like net code too. Swear. It's like you won't even touch and then one car will just boom and it's like whoa.
Yeah. I mean, actually, because iRacing helped design that game, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I
pretty sure
thought. It
like they're
was
the main
like,
people in it.
yeah, that's what I thought, and I believe iRacing's got another game coming out in 2025
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
or something similar like that. I seen on their Facebook page, but I don't know. Actually, though, let's like go back to iRacing here. Like, there's stuff that you don't see. Like last night or 2 nights ago, Boy Jordan, Garrett Corn, they both fell off the track, and 3 and 4 at Lernerville Speedway. Exact same place, exact same time. Both saved it, kept it under green flag racing. Man, I don't know how they managed to get back onto the track and save it. They both went up on the two wheels, flying off from the racetrack, put it back down onto all fours, whilst making contact in between all that, but yet still kept it going. And then another thing well, actually, no, sorry, that would have been 3 nights ago. Wait, no, that would have been two. I'm right. Sorry, I'm standing correcting here. But 2 nights ago as well, Trevin McCrillis, man, 3 and 4, him and Ryan Hodge, they went flying over turn one at Cedar Lake Speedway. That tractor tire, I don't know what it is about the tractor tire when you're entering the pits there. I don't know what it is. Like if you're upside down and you clip that tractor tire that's on the outside of the track, it's not. I should say tractor tire, but I mean it's a tractor tire, but it's like more or less a barrier of the wall, so that way if somebody hits it, they're not gonna make heavy contact with a concrete wall and stuff. And I don't know what it is about that, and I've noticed that so much. If you hit that wall upside down, you go flying. I mean, like Trevor McCrillis, he did probably 8 barrels to 10 barrels within milliseconds, and then it was all over. It was just like, okay, land
Yeah.
on all fours, rear ends out, called toe, try to get back out on the track when you can. Um, and then you know, all that is just so weird when that stuff. Like, I feel like that's like I don't know. I feel like when it comes to that type of stuff, iRacing's actually got it somewhat similar to. I feel like iRacing's really worked on their wrecks to comparison to real life wrecks. I feel like the cars wreck the same way now. I
Mhm.
feel like back when I first started iRacing, because I've had it almost a year longer than you. I've had it for
Yeah,
not quite 2 years. This
yeah.
December,
Mark, that's sad. The you let me get better than you, and you've had it for
but
way longer than I
you
have.
gotta remember I've been broadcasting almost those 2 years.
That don't matter. You come out and race with us.
Yeah, but not a lot.
Okay, you
I'm
did.
lucky to get one race in a month with you guys. And don't get me wrong, I do race, during the day here and there, but usually I'm doing graphics or animations for the stream, or
That's a good point.
But yeah, I don't know. It's really fun. And then like, look at I don't know what setup uh Seth Pancetta threw in last night, talking about them. Him and Tyler. This was before that race during hot laps. Man, wanted me to get a good picture of him. Look at him just absolutely tote the left front. You can see it right here on your screen at the very bottom. He's toting that thing, and I mean, with the barrier, you can't tell as much, but that thing was roughly a good 2 feet in the air, and if he hit the corner
Probably could have
just
fit a
right,
tire under it.
oh, easily, easily. I mean, actually, you can tell because the barrier's actually fitting under it. He could have fit the
Yeah.
barrier under pretty near, but I don't know. It's been a really interesting experience with iRacing and the way that it's developed, and I don't know. But we've been talking for a while now, man. I think it's time to end things off here. I hope and wish you the best of luck, and qualifiers, and if you make it to the race, really good luck with that. And if you win that 4K, you know where to split it and who to split it with. I'm just throwing with you, but no, but I do hope you the best of luck, man, with that, and hopefully in a week or so we can bring you back and you can give us an update after the experience and let us know how everything went and if you actually got as nervous as what you thought, or more nervous, or you know, got in a wreck or anything like that. So I think that'll be interesting. But I appreciate you coming on here to the Legend Podcast, Shaun Smith, and it was nice talking with you for the 40 some minutes now. But I'm gonna let you go, and I guess uh, just you can go do whatever Shaun Smith does at this time of night. But
Sleep.
I'll maybe, I don't know, if that race wasn't tomorrow, we'll have to find out. But
Yeah.
good luck with that, man. I guess we'll hopefully talk to you within another week. Have a good one, Sean.
You too.
Yep. Okay, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys watching the podcast. If you guys made it this far and stuff, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube. We provide all different kinds of dirt action racing, and like to do some shorts eventually, along with more podcasts. We'd like to add in a bunch of other drivers that are on here. I appreciate Sean for coming on and talking with us. But like I said, I hope everybody enjoys the video. You'll have to come over to my Discord and or just private message me on Discord and let me know, or put in the comments on this video whether you like the video and would like to see more type of content like this and that type of stuff. But other than that, I appreciate you watch this video. Peace, Legend Racing.